Hey friends, it's me, Courtney from Know Your Produce, and today I'm going to be sharing my 13-cup food processor with dicing kit. This is a KitchenAid product. Unfortunately, they do not sell it in like a 9-cup. They don't have the dicing kit on its own, so if you have the 13-cup, I don't think you can get the actual dicing kit on your own unless you maybe call KitchenAid and ask them, but I haven't seen it sold separately, so when I purchased this, I bought it as the 13-cup food processor with the dicing kit. I will leave my affiliate link below in the description, so if you guys want to purchase it, you can purchase it through my link. I do earn a small commission, so thank you for that. If you do make a purchase, I appreciate it. So let's get started. I'm going to show you guys how this works. We're not going over the other attachments. This is purely for the dicing kit. I have a whole bunch of stuff chopped. I have some carrots, celery, onions, cucumbers, peppers, and tomatoes. And then I'm also going to do potatoes because I'm going to be making a potato soup as it snowed outside and we want some cozy feels. On the top here is the actual dicing kit. This is what comes with this specific one. You will not get this with every one, and it's not sold separately as an attachment. I actually purchased this myself about 3 or 4 years ago now, and I love it. And I'm going to be honest, I mainly use it for dicing. So we're going to take out all of this. I love that it's all compact in there, but I will say I really barely use anything in there. One thing I wish that this had was a smaller bowl, but I have my 3.5-cup chopper that I love from KitchenAid that I paid, I think it was like 50, 60-ish bucks. This was $1.99 when I purchased it. I think it's like $2.07 now sometimes, and sometimes cheaper I'll see it for $1.99. So if you find a sale, you can grab it at that sale price, which would be nice. To put it in, you'll see the blades are supposed to be facing up that way and the handle should be on that side. So that's how we're gonna insert it. And you just hold those two pieces and place it right in. So now we're gonna place this part in. I don't love that this part has to be in there all the time for everything. That's one of my pet peeves. There's another part that goes on top of that, and then other blades fit. Like, you need 2 pieces in at all times. For this, you only need the 1 piece, but I'll show you what I'm talking about. If I was to do the blade, I'd have to use these 2 pieces. I wish it was just 1 connected piece. I hate that it's 2. But it all compactly stores in there. So now we're gonna put this in. Again, we're gonna have the handle on this side. There's like little grooves on here and here. This is gonna go towards the handle, and then we just close it. So now in order for this to work, this large pusher has to be inserted into this part in the back here. If it doesn't, it will not work. You could keep the large pusher in and use a smaller pusher if you're doing something smaller, but if you're doing something larger, the entire thing has to go. You'll have to keep it pushing it down each time. So let's get started. Just like that. Ready? We're gonna start with our onions because everything is gonna have onions in it today. So I just put my onion in and I'm gonna push the pulse button, and there it's diced. So it's super quick, and I'm just gonna keep going because it's just that fast. Boom. And then I will show you how nicely diced. I just threw a piece of onion. And this is just so much easier than me dicing onions on my own. And if I was using like a blade, it's not gonna be as uniform, which I don't like. Yes, you will have some pieces of onion stuck in here. That's just unfortunate. That's gonna happen with every slicer or anything you use. It's not too much, but there is some. So there's the amount we're looking at. It's not a crazy amount. There's a pusher with it right here that I can push this through. So it comes with this little pusher attachment that I will just push those pieces through and take those little pieces out, but there's still a nice amount of stuff in there, and you want to be super careful. I'm going to show you what that looks like. I love that that comes off as well, and it's not attached. But we have some beautifully diced onions now, and I love how quick and easy that is to do. Of course, you're going to have to cut them, slice them in half, but you'd have to do even more prep with those little dicers, and this was so fast. And I'm not busting my arm, like pushing it down really hard. If you've tried those little dicers, they're hard to use. They're great in a pinch if you're not doing a lot, but if you're doing a lot and you have to keep pushing down, that can hurt your wrists. I know I have like some arthritis in mine. My family has carpal tunnel. I'm trying to preserve all of my ligaments and joints and everything, so this is my best friend. So we're gonna put this into a bowl. And if a little bit's in there, like I said, everything's gonna be having onions in it today, so I'm not gonna go too crazy. You could rinse it out if you needed, but I am gonna be using it, so that's totally fine. Here we go. I'm gonna put it all back together. Remember, this has to go towards the handle over there. We're gonna put this right back on here. And now we're gonna do our red onion. Again, super easy peasy. Again, remember you have to use the pusher to make it work. Quick and easy, it's so fast. Sometimes it'll get stuck like that. No issue there, you just flip it. There we go. And I've never really had any issues with this other than sometimes it does get stuck like that. I'm gonna use the pusher again to clear it out. Our red onion is nicely diced and ready to be put into a container. Now, if you needed something minced or smaller diced than this, you could use like a mini chopper. I love my KitchenAid mini chopper. It's 3.5 cups, and I just blitz things in that all the time. If you don't need precision, if you need it like minced, it does a beautiful job. It's not like soupy or anything either. Again, that one part has to be in, but for celery, we can take out the smaller piece and just keep feeding it and keep it on. Done. That's it. It's done. I love that. That's my favorite part about this. Again, get the pusher. So here's our chopped celery. It's ready for the bowl. It does have a little bit of onion in there. Again, I'm using all this stuff together, so I'm totally fine with it being mixed up. It's how I'm gonna be using this throughout the week. Like I'm making a pasta salad with celery and onion. I'm using the onions in the potato soup, so everything is gonna have a little bit of everything in it today. Now we're gonna move on to carrots, which can be a little bit tricky, but it's a piece of cake in here. Again, we're gonna keep out the large tamper because the carrots can fit. This is probably too thin for my carrots. No, it's actually fine. Ready? 1, 2. I'm gonna put them all in my hands and see how fast we can go. Ready? Here we go. All right, here we go with the carrots. I'm gonna keep it on. Done. So, again, I'm not speeding that up or anything. I'm gonna get a little bit more out. Now with carrots, because they are like rounded, they're not as chopped consistently as like something like an onion or something that has like 4 corners. Like if I had perfectly chopped it, it probably would have done much better. But again, they're cylinders, so they're gonna have some smaller spots. On the bottom, it has those 2 grips again, and I just took it apart so I can rinse it, but it goes like this to lock and like this to unlock. So you're gonna twist it on and twist it off. Hands on the top pieces and then hand on the bottom because you want to make sure your fingers are safe. Now it's locked back in place, and put the lid on and get ready with the peppers. The peppers are a little bit bigger, so I'm gonna, let's see, we'll take this piece out. Perfect, yes. We're gonna just go on for this one too. And it's done. It goes so fast. I get a little nervous. I'm like, ooh, hold on, I can't keep up. It does get a little juicy when you do something that's a little more liquidy. Like a pepper has more water content than something like a carrot. So that will happen. I'm a little nervous to do my tomatoes because they're kind of soft, but we will see. And then here's our peppers. They're nice and chopped. I'm gonna put that into a larger container. Ready? Here we go. I will say it's my favorite for cucumbers. They always chop beautifully. I'm gonna maybe have to cut this one. Nope. Perfect. There we go. There's the cucumbers, nicely chopped. And I'm gonna get a container for them now. Now, if you were making a recipe and everything needed to be diced for that recipe, you're not gonna have to keep disassembling it. You're just gonna straight through go. Like if you're making a big thing of onions and prepping them for the freezer, you're just doing onions. You're not gonna have to keep rinsing it, taking it apart. If you're doing something like me where you're prepping for the week, yes, you will have to, you know, take it apart here and there. We're gonna do tomatoes. I'm actually really nervous about these. These are super soft tomatoes. They didn't have any hard ones at the store and it's just not tomato season, so I got what I could. Let's see how it goes. I'm leaving the inside of them in. We will see how it does. I'm scared it's gonna smush them. I will be honest, if I used the press and chopper, these would just smush, so they may just smush in here too. I'm nervous. I'm nervous, I am. I usually use a little bit of a firmer tomato. Here goes. Okay. Like, and I could have taken the seeds out, but I'm just leaving it in. If you use something like a food chopper, these would just be obliterated though into like slurry because they are so soft. They're ripe. They're very ripe. Like a food chopper, there'd be no texture left to them at all. And I am going to rinse this for my potatoes. Look at all that. Whoa, they're so juicy. Look at our tomatoes. I will be honest, it did pretty darn well for as soft as those tomatoes were. I will show you a better picture and better lighting, but you can see we have a little bit of juice because they were super ripe. They were really ripe, like scary ripe. I was scared, and it did really beautifully. All right, now we're gonna go with the potatoes. I have 4 russet and then 3 Yukon, and I'm using these for a potato soup. I'm actually gonna cut them down because they are really big, and I want them to be able to fit. The Yukon might fit, maybe this one won't, so I'll cut that one in half just in case. So here we go, I'm gonna open this up again. We're gonna use the big hopper, so we gotta make sure we make contact. Again, making contact. It's kind of tough to make contact with big items, so you sometimes have to cut it down. I wonder if I could put it a little bit. Nope, because you gotta get in that blade. The problem is if things are too big, it doesn't get that contact. So what I'm gonna do is actually use the middle chute. Oh wow, we're kind of full. Gotta take this out, it's kind of stuck. A little bit too big, so I'll cut these again. And it's kind of full in there, wow. I gotta get that out. All right, pulse, because it's getting full and I'm kind of nervous how full it is. All right, that's fine. I've filled it more than this before. Does such a good job with things that are hard. Again, because they're cylinder, you're gonna get some pieces that are not even, but that is pretty darn good for potatoes. I'm gonna put these into a container with some water because we're gonna be using them for soup later. I have some sweet potato here that I'm gonna do really quickly. As you can see, it plowed right through the sweet potato. There is the sweet potato. So here we have our potatoes. I put them in water because I don't want them to brown, but they are diced beautifully. And then we have our cucumber, we have our onions, we have celery over there. I'll pan over. There is the celery. We have red onion, tomato, sweet potato, carrots. We also have green pepper. I'm gonna bring everything closer. Here is the seedless cucumber we did. Here is the onions we did. I think this was 4 onions. How many? It goes so fast that I lost track. We did a few stalks of celery. Here is the celery that we did. Again, everything is mixed in because I'm gonna be using it and I didn't rinse it for each thing. I only rinsed it twice because I think the potatoes and the tomatoes. Here is our green pepper. As you can see, it's not perfectly diced. Things are differently shaped. So when you're cutting it, you're not cutting it as if you were using a knife. So if I was using a knife, I would cut off the awkward bits and then have those perfect cuts. You're gonna also get the same kind of consistency in a nicer dicer or a little press and chop thing. Here is the tomatoes, which I am super impressed with. These tomatoes were super juicy. Like if you think of a tomato that you want on a piece of toast that's just like gonna melt in your mouth and like be super juicy when you bite into it, this is that kind of tomato. They are super ripe and it did so well. It did not mush them. If I used a press and chop, it would have mushed it completely. So So very impressed with that. Here is the sweet potato. I only had a small sweet potato. It handled that beautifully as well. And the sweet potato was hard to cut because I had to trim it down a little bit to fit. Here is our carrots. Again, carrots are cylinder shaped, so they're not gonna be as consistent. If I wanted consistency, I would cut this completely on my own. If I wanted slices, I think for consistency's sake, if I needed to do it quick and in the food processor, I think carrots are probably better off doing slices. Last but not least, we have our red onion, which it handled beautifully as well. I think it does such a good job that I don't have to do all of this on my own. If I had to chop all of this, it would have taken me a lot longer. Yes, there's a lot of prep work in here. I have to wash everything. I have to cut it down, but there's even more prep work if I had to cut it down using a knife myself and a cutting board. And even if I had to use a press and chop, because that strenuous energy that we have to use, also we have to cut it down even more so it fits into that. Here you can see the potatoes, and despite rinsing it, we do have a little piece of green pepper in there. That is totally fine. I'm gonna rinse these a little bit more and then put them in for our soup. I'm making a loaded baked potato soup with these. I'll leave the link for that potato soup below. And then I'm also gonna make a tuna macaroni salad with the celery, onions, and green pepper. I usually used to make a chickpea salad, like a chickpea tuna salad with the tuna mac, which was really good as well. I'll leave the link for both of those below. I hope you guys found this video helpful, and if you did, please leave me a comment below and tell me what you really enjoyed or what I missed out on, so this way I can improve for the next video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you guys soon with another delicious tip or recipe. Bye, friends.